Well, it is box is falling down. It is fall season. It is windy. It was cold this morning. It was cold yesterday. It rained yesterday during football. We're here. Be careful what you wish for, right? All I've said the last couple of weeks is it's warm, abnormal. Now we have 45 degrees and 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and I cannot get the chill off of my bones from this morning on the water. So it is the 13th of October. Can't thank everyone enough for tuning in this entire open water season. This will be my last fishing report of the season. I have a little bit more fishing and guide trips to go. However, next Sunday, 1 week from today, is the Modified Ice House show at Adrenaline Sports Center in Ramsey that I'm hosting, brought to you by Matt Johnson Outdoors and ACS Events, Adrenaline Sports Center events. That's happening 1 week from today on October 20th. So I will be at the Sports Center in Ramsey focusing on that and thinking about ice fishing. And on cold days like today, and it looks like we're going to get another cold day tomorrow and Tuesday, and maybe some more rain, feels like freezing rain. I guess it just makes sense to start thinking ice. I do have a couple more trips left. Like I said, we'll touch on how this last week went, kind of predict what we think we can see this next week. And to be honest, that pretty much wraps up the open water season for me. And I am headstrong into ice fishing mode. Started taking some stuff out of the boat. Started regrouping for ice fishing season. Started transitioning my garage around. It's that time of year where things start to get into that the new phase of outdoor activity. I don't hunt. I'm not a hunter, so I don't do any of that. And would enjoy it. Love eating wild game. I like eating wild game, whether it's goose, duck, deer, venison, more than beef and chicken. I just don't hunt. So I get to focus on the ice fishing world and move on with that. But I really, really, really want to thank everybody for tuning in. I engaged in a pile of phenomenal dialogue with a lot of you throughout the last several months as we started these in the middle of April. And now here we are in the middle of October, putting a wrap on another phenomenal open water season. I know a lot of you are still going to get after it throughout the month of October, maybe even into November, maybe not even put your boat away so that in the middle of the winter, if you get a warm day, you can hop on the river. God bless you. That's awesome. Hopefully you do it and you catch a bunch of fish while you do. All right, what happened this last week? Water temps went down. Finally went down drastically. We're seeing lakes that water temps are already into the 50s, upper 50s. Last time we talked, we were still seeing 70s, low 70s, maybe upper 60s. They dropped 10, 15 degrees in this last week. The very cold mornings, I think I even heard some people talking about putting their heat on at the house. So that stuff's happening. I'm looking at the leaves right now, just between now and last week, just between now and like 3 days ago. I'm seeing a lot of leaves fall. I'm looking at a lot of red trees, orange trees, yellow trees. Very pretty if you're out there on the water or going for hikes or doing the fall activities. But we saw a rapid change this last week. Fish are moving shallower. Weeds are laying down. You can catch them a variety of different ways. The ways we talked about, chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, shallow crankbaits, super fun. These fish are getting aggressive. People that live on the lakes are rapidly trying to get their docks out. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing because I think we kind of all predicted that. Everyone was going to delay because the water temps were warm, the weather was warm, they wanted the lake life as long as they could, and now boom, smack dab in the face. No one wanted to be on the water today, it seemed like, but me and a handful of other people, because it is blowing still 20, 25 miles an hour and it's cold out. So that's what you're dealing with. Moving baits were awesome. We caught some walleyes on Ned rigs and jig worms and tikka minnows and jigging wraps. I did get some questions after my last video last week on my bobber setup for walleyes. So I'm going to walk through that real quick. Not necessarily saying that is the absolute end all way to catch them right now, but I got enough people that PM me, DM, whatever, message me on what I do for a bobber setup. This is actually the same bobber setup that I watched Tom Boley use, and I know a lot of you use the exact same thing. It's the Kalen setup. There's multiple variations of this out there on the market, whether it's the Kalen one, whether it's Lindy, whether it's, I don't know, there's a number of brands. Concept's the same. And you can do this a number of different ways. You can use a plain hook like I do, or you can use a jig head and forego the split shot. I do the split shot and the plain hook. I use a red line hook from VMC. It's like a finesse drop shot hook. Super sharp, super sticky, very durable. Works great with the leech, chunk of crawler. You could put a minnow on it. I never did that. I used a crawler or a leech. I even used gulp leeches recently because you just can't find leeches anywhere. So I like that plain hook. And I'll show you what I'm doing on the receiving end for the bobber. You have your bobber stop, of course. I use a thin braid, 10-pound, 8-pound main line. And then I use my bobber stop. I put on the bead. I put on my Lund bobber here, and they come in different sizes. Depends on the weight that you're trying to get done. A couple different variations on here. This one I believe is a quarter. Yep, this is a quarter, designed for a quarter-ounce setup, and it says it right on the bobber there. These Lund bobber setups actually come in a kit. You can buy them in a kit that comes with all the stuff you're seeing, minus the hook, but it'll come with one of their jig heads. So the bobber goes on next, and then I use that cylinder weight. That's important because that gives me the castability. I'm scoping these fish. I see them on forward-facing sonar. Even if you're not using forward-facing sonar, this gives me the ability to sling that bobber. A lot of people struggle with bobber setups, a lot of times because of the efficiency of it, the castability. It doesn't go where they want it. Slingshots, things wrap up, they get frustrated. This added weight right here gives you the castability. Below that weight, another bead, then I tie on a swivel. Then from the swivel to the hook, this is my fluorocarbon. This is the stuff that the walleyes can see or can't see. Split shot to get everything where I need to go. This is about a 18-inch lead right here. This setup right here, I can really chuck and hit. And the cool thing about everything else down here, why this weight makes sense not just for casting, is because right away, that presentation gets straight down to the fish. It's not feathering down to the fish to where that little wolf pack of walleyes continues to swim on. I see one, I throw at it, the presentation comes down quick, gets it in front of their face, and gets bit. That's my bobber setup. And the rod I'm using, I really like these rods. This is a St. Croix Avid. It's a 7-1 medium. And I went with the medium because I wanted a little bit of a stouter hook set because I'm kind of giving it to them with this braided line. So this is a 7-1 medium, fast action. I like that specific parallel bend personally on this. And then it's got the larger wire frame guides, which I think are important because I cast that slip knot through these guides. Larger opening, quicker castability. We're talking about efficiency. This rod I really, really enjoy for this setup. And I'm fishing a 2500 series Shimano Marvel. Love it. It's a phenomenal reel for the price. I actually put these on a number of different rods. I put them on my new Thorne Brothers Stealth Customs this year. We talked about that. I have them on another variation of Ned Rig rod. And I have both of these similar setups as my bobber rod. So I use the exact same setup, multiple versions, but the exact same setup. So when my clients go out fishing, or me and my kids, we're all using the exact same rod. So chime in, let me know your feedback on what you're using for a bobber rod, but this has worked really well for me. It's worked exceptionally well on catching fish, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to watch a bobber go down. It doesn't matter if you're 5 or 95, I still think it's fun to watch the bobber go down. So there's my bobber setup. Otherwise, this next week, we're probably going to be chucking and winding spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, swim jigs, moving, grooving, keeping the blood flow going because it's chillier out. We might very well continue to throw some Ned rigs at some fish if they're doing a little more of a finicky approach, a wacky rig this time of year. Really easy way to catch them. You can throw on a light pair of gloves too. We talked about my favorite glove now for situations like this. Clam makes a woolly fingerless glove. This thing here is going to be awesome, not just for ice fishing, but for this time of year. You can see I can still tie and do a number of things. I got my dexterity, but this is keeping the meat of my hand warm, which in days like today, that's really all you need. I'm not going to frostbite my fingers today. It's 45, 50 degrees out, but it's cold. It's cold on your hands. This here, I can still tie knots and do things. I can still cast. This woolly fingerless glove from Clam, which is available right now on the clamoutdoors.com website, is going to be a home run, not just for the ice fishing market, but for days like today. So check out that glove if you haven't already. Maybe you already own a pair similar to this, but conceptually, this glove gets the nod in these type of situations. So there you have it. We're going to get after it again this week, see what happens, and hopefully I see some of you next week, a week from today, at the Adrenaline Sports Center in Ramsey for the Modified Ice House show. I started this event 23 years ago at a park in St. Cloud. It has migrated from St. Cloud to Rogers, to Thorne Brothers in Fridley, to Thorne Brothers in Blaine, stayed at Thorne Brothers in Blaine, migrated to the North Metro Ice Show. Now it is back to its standalone event 23 years later. Super fun, free to attend. If you want to participate and enter your fish house into the contest for a chance to win a ton of great prizes, it's only 20 bucks. You're also going to get a gift. Top 5 tricked out shacks voted on the 20th will be showcased the following weekend at the North Metro Ice Show for a chance to win a grand prize, which is a Clam Fish Trap X200 Thermal XT, fully loaded with a pile of accessories added. Over a $1,500 value. So if you tricked out your fish house, whether it's a hub, whether it's a flip over, bring it out to Ramsey, the Adrenaline Sports Center, on the 20th, next weekend, next Sunday, and enter it. It's only 20 bucks. Like I said, you're going to go away with a gift of some kind and have a whole lot of fun. And if you don't want to participate in the contest, no problem. It's free to attend. Just show up, embark on a good time. Everyone that shows up to that show next Sunday the 20th will get in for a chance to win a guided fishing trip with me and one of your friends. So anyone that shows up, doesn't cost you a dime, show up, enter in the raffle for a free guided fishing trip. Also, every 30 minutes, we're going to be giving away some kind of prize throughout the entire day. There's food trucks, a bunch of things going on. So that is Sunday, October 20th at the Adrenaline Sports Center in Ramsey from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Just stop on out, enjoying some ice fishing fun, and we'll get the next season going. So thanks again, Ken. Thank you enough for all the support. All of you out there is honestly why I do these videos. I enjoy doing this and educating people and really just talking fishing. So I am that fishing dork, probably just like the rest of you. We're not alone. So have a great rest of your open water season. And when we come back at you, it's going to be ice mode. I'm pumped up. We're going to have a great ice fishing season. All signs point towards cold weather. It's not going to be like last year. And we're going to get after it and have a lot more fun. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your 2024 open water season.